Hey YouTube, this is DIY Coach Al at Lawn Care and Home Repair. We're going to get into doing some electrical work and some carpentry. Stay tuned. Hey YouTube, this is DIY Coach Al, DIY Lawn Care and Home Repair. I am going to be working on a couple projects today. I'm going to actually have someone who really wants to learn how to do this. She missed out on coming to one of my classes last year. I teach homeowners how to do basic things around their home, some carpentry, electrical stuff. And she's going to come over and assist today because she wants to learn how to do this. We're going to be doing two things. One, we're going to be changing out this light fixture right here. Then we're going to be changing out this plug right here. We're going to actually update this plug with a tamper resistant plug. And this is really just kind of showing her how to do it. And the third thing we're going to do, like over there in my dining room, we had that chair rail. We're going to actually put a chair rail over here in my living room. And then we're going to do some wainscoting. We're going to put a frame around that picture. And I did it in another part of the house. I can't flip the camera around. I just walk over here and show you. We actually did it over here in this part of the home. I went ahead and put those track lights up there. I'm sorry, I keep saying track lights. Put those recess or wafer lights up there. And then my wife and I actually did the wainscoting on this wall. And we have the squares down at the bottom. And then we have the bigger ones up here. So because that came out nice and really, especially with the addition with the lights, put the track lights, I'm sorry, I keep saying track lights, put the recess lights up everywhere, then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here. I just really liked the way that it looked. And yeah, when we come back, I'm going to show you the tools. I'll be narrating and showing you the tools that we'll be using to do this, to do everything. So hopefully you'll enjoy the product, the process, and the project. Can't get my English together today. Okay, everybody, we have Miss T over, who's learning how to change out this light socket, light switch. So we're just now taking the screws out. And you could just let them fall. You can disregard them. I have to vacuum it up anyway. So we're taking out the old light switch and we're going to put a push switch in here. And the very first thing that we did was made sure we checked the electricity. I always triple check to make sure we don't have any electricity running. I have actually hurt myself a few times by not triple checking to make sure we don't have any electricity. So now all you have to do is pull that right out, Tanisha. Pull that out. And we are going to, since we're not going to reuse this, we're going to actually cut these switches. So just pull it all the way out. And you know, let me show you right here. This box right here, let's make sure we're getting it. This particular box, it's what we call backstabbing, which is there is a hole in the back of these old outlets that you can just put your wire into it. That's called backstabbing. That's a one-time thing that you can do. Whenever you backstab, you can only do that one time because theoretically now we could pull it out if we tried, but that's going to loosen that terminal in here. So we never want to use that backstabbing more than one time. It is old, it is outdated. We don't really do the backstabbing anymore for the most part. Now what we do is just do what's called a shepherd's hook right here, or I'm going to show you a new product, and this is the Leviton Decor Edge, and this has no live connections at all. This is based on, I believe, Wago was the first one that came out with the handles. We're going to actually put a brand new Wago inside, and you're going to really like this. Okay, so Tanisha, we're going to go ahead and cut that off. Let me get you a wire cutter, which right here. So what we're going to do is, let's open this up. We're going to just cut these wires. 1, 2, 3. We're going to cut all 3 of them.
Okay.
All righty.
All right.
There you go.
And down here,
Uh-huh.
I'll cut them one at a time.
And snip. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And yep, that is our ground. Whenever you see copper or green, that's always our ground wire. Now, this is a single, what's called a single pole light switch. And there's a red wire here. I believe that the doorbell is actually tapped into this. Not sure, but we're going to find out. I may have to actually get a double pole to use up there. Okay, so now we already got that one out. Let's go over here and take care of this one. And then we're going to come back and we're going to wire them both at the same time.
Okay.
All righty. So now we're going to take this old box out. Actually, it's called a new box because it was put in when the construction started. You could just unplug those. And once again, we wanted to make sure that we had no electricity. And we're going to just undo that. There we go. There we go. And we're going to just pull that right on out. And this is double wired also. Now this, once again, I can see we have backstabbing right here. And this, they didn't use the shepherd hook. This is just straight backstabbing. And once again, we're going to always make sure that we have white, your neutral on one side, and your black is always your hot. So we're going to cut those off, and I'm going to show Tanisha how to strip the wire. So you want to take your wire cutters and cut those. Let's cut as close to the box as we can. There we go. We're going to put it right in between. Let's move this one out the way. There we go. And come back right there. There we go. Right there. Okay. So now we are going to put our new, this is a tamper resistant receptacle. That means if you have kids and sometimes they put forks and knives and things inside one, this is designed so that you have to put both prongs in at the exact same time. Otherwise, it will not work. So it's not tamper proof, but it's tamper resistant. This is what most new construction is going to come with now. This particular, this Decora Edge also has an extra flap on at the top, just in case your work box, somebody may have done some work around it, and you guys have probably seen it where the box is too big. The box is too big for the outlet. So this particular one has an extension at the top and the bottom. I can see that this box has not been tampered with. It's okay. So we're going to actually we're going to pull this off. We're just going to put that right on there. You can use your pliers.
Okay. So do it with this
one? Yep. Just go back and forth, rock it back and forth. There you go. Back and forth. And we're just going to pull that right off. You can, whatever you're comfortable with. People really do get nervous when they're learning stuff for the first time. Especially with the electricity. As I told Tanisha, I've actually shocked myself several times, and that's how I learned to do things a certain way. There you go. Okay. Yep, we're going to do the top and the bottom. Just rock it back and forth. That way we won't damage the rest of it. Now, while she's doing that, just want to show you, code requires that you have at least 6 inches of wire protruding from the box. And that's in new construction, and at least 3 inches of that has to protrude from the actual end of the box. So we actually have good wire here. We have a good amount of wire. If we didn't, we can do what's called a pigtail. That would be adding some additional wire on here. So since we actually have enough wire, you got it, Tanisha?
Yes.
Okay, we actually have enough wire. We are going to now strip the covering off of the wire, and we're going to use a wire stripper. Now there's several wire strippers that we can use. I'm going to use the one that I've actually kind of fallen in love with. This one will strip any kind of wire. You're going to put the wire right in here, and you're going to grab it. It's going to catch that sheathing and pull the wire apart at the same time. All right, so I'm going to show you, Tanisha, the first one. So what we do is we're going to put our wire right there. Squeeze, squeeze. See?
Perfect.
All right, so I'm going to take a little more of that off. There we go. And I'll do one more on this side. There we go. So now I'm going to let you try it. And can you see, do you have good lighting right there?
Is this far enough?
Yep, right there. Catch it. Oh, you have to make sure we put it in it. There we go, right there. Did we get it? Okay, it's all right. It's going to take several tries. Can't get it? All right, sorry for the wobbly camera. Just trying to get a good angle. It's okay. So to put it in there and hold it. You want to try? Yes. Okay. So we're gonna. Everybody took my class. Say, Mr. Lewis, you're just so patient. Yes. Last thing you need to do is rush somebody, especially with electricity. So we're gonna hold it right here. Gonna push it right there.
Oh, I wasn't putting it.
Yeah. And just one swoop like that. Oh, you know what? This wire is actually has some kind of film on it. That's why you couldn't get it off. It was just hard to come off. Okay, let's try. You want to try it again?
Yes.
All righty. I'm going to let Tanisha try again. Did you get it? All right. So it was the wire. It wasn't the lady. It was the wire. That's good right there. And actually on the back of these boxes, if I can find it, it actually lets you know about how much wire you should take off. There's a guide right here. Let's see, right there. That's your wire guide. What you do is put your wire in there, and that's the length that your wire is supposed to be. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to have Tanisha put her first plug in. We're going to put our black is always our hot. Our white is always our neutral. And the green, universally, NEC, universally, the green is always going to be our ground. Our gold is our ground. We got white, white, black, black. And what we're going to do is put them in the back, and then we're going to press it down. And then we're going to put it back in the box.
So does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. As long as you have your two whites in whites, just make sure you push it in all the way. And then clamp it down.
So if this doesn't go in all the way, do we want to cut some of this?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize that piece. Yeah, we cut that a little long. So what we want to do right there, just cut a little piece of that off. Okay. Just a little.
That's enough.
Yep, that's good right there. All righty. And now let's see what we have. Let's do one at a time. And then push the lever down. Now what you want to do is tug at it to make sure it's not coming out. Okay. It's in there securely. Good. Okay. So now this is something that I kind of laugh at it. There really is no right or wrong way. And if I'm mistaken, somebody please correct me in the comments. Some people put it with that third prong up. More often you see it with it down. Yeah. I've not found where that really makes a difference. I actually have both in my basement. So we're just going to go ahead and go with it now since it's all we have to put it on that side anyway. And we're going to put our ground over there. So Tanisha is going to now put the other two in. Black and black, white on white, and then the green for our ground. And we got it. Yep. It's always okay to double check. Better to do that than to make a mistake and then we have a fire hazard. We get shocked. Just gonna cut a little bit of that one off. Alrighty. All right, so we want to pull the wires just a little bit to make sure everybody's in tight. Okay, we are good. So now what we're going to do, normally if the wire is much longer than what we have right there, we'd fold the wire up and then push in the box, but we don't have a lot of wire right there. So what we're going to do, Tanisha, is now push it back in and we're going to screw it in and we're going to use a screwdriver to screw it in. Get a little light over here. There we go. Oh, sorry. Got the wrong screwdriver. There you go. And we just want to get them started. And just get it going a little, and then we're going to go to the top, and let's get them both in. All right, so you can stop right there. So we got it started. Now, before we put this all the way in, what I want to do, as I want to show how to use, this is called an impact driver right there. I want to show Tanisha. Have you used one of these, Tanisha?
No.
Okay, so what we're going to do is grab that impact driver, and let's make sure it's on the low setting. There we go. So what we're going to do with the impact driver, I want you to put it on the screw. Here you go. Just put it right on the screw. And I want you to put your hand on the back of it, just slight pressure. That way it's not going to strip the screw, or what we call camming out. So now we're going to just hit it softly. There we go. Just push it a little harder. So there we go. And now it's come down to the bottom. Same thing. Right there, and just a little more on the top. There you go. Could have actually left those clips on. Okay, right there. We're good. All right, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to check out for a second. I'm going to turn the power back on, and then we're going to test our plug to make sure we're good. All right, so we turn our power back on. So now what we're going to do is use our voltage tester to make sure it's wired correctly. When Tanisha puts it in, if we get 2 yellow or amber lights, it means that it's wired correctly. Anything else means we have to start all over again. Okay, Tanisha? We got 2 yellow lights. So that means that Tanisha has just changed her first outlet. And she's smiling over here. She's so proud of herself. Okay. Now this particular one does the same thing, except this is going to let us know the voltage. And we want to be, I believe it's at 120 volts. So we're going to take that one out and we're going to try this one. And we're going to test. We should be right around 120, 122. So we're good. And we see that we have our green light on, means that this is wired correctly. Alrighty, so we have just changed out our first outlet. And like I say, she's just as happy as she can be because she did it right. We didn't blow anything up or burn anything down. And what we're going to do is put our cover. We can take that out, Tanisha. And we're going to put our new cover on. There you go. And we're going to use...
It goes on the top of these right here.
It's going to just go right around the square. It's going to be flush with it. You just push it right on. There we go. And put our screws in. You might have to take your gloves off for that part. There we go. And we're just going to use a straight screwdriver. And we just want to put, there you go, right there. And we have now successfully changed out our outlet. And I have grandchildren, or my children are grown, but for those of you who have children who are inquisitive, you know how this was when we were young. We just wanted to know what would happen if we stuck a knife or a fork inside of an outlet. Now we actually have a tamper-resistant outlet. This is going to actually benefit the safety of your home. Good job, Tanisha. All right.